And we are live and ready to get going. My name is Jared Sparr, and this is kind of Module 2, Starting Your Business with the Restaurant Business Advisors Group. In this module, we're going to go through kind of a little bit of a touch on liquor licensing and kind of more so the common pitfalls that new restaurant owners kind of run into and the tips and tricks on how to avoid those pitfalls. And before we start, just a little shocking number that I want to spread with everybody that we found out recently from American Express. In a study they said that roughly 90% of all businesses which are restaurants will fail within the first 3 years, which is a startling number. And what we're doing as the Restaurant Business Advisors Group is we're trying to basically put together a program to help new restaurant owners specifically avoid those pitfalls so they can be one of the 1% or 10% that do survive. And really quickly, my name is Jared Sparr. I'm the founding member of the Restaurant Business Advisors Group, and I'll be your facilitator today. And online with us, we have Bonnie Bonachuk. Did I say that right, Bonnie?
Bahniak, that's close.
I apologize. I was going to
Good try.
And Bonnie is the Vice President of Government Relations with the Michigan Food and Beverage Association. We've got a nice partnership with them. Bonnie, for all of you guys who don't know, is your voice in Lansing when it comes to lobbying on your behalf. She works alongside legislators, their staff, and state departments on a daily basis in efforts to promote favorable legislation for business owners in Michigan. Basically, she's the one who fights for your rights in Lansing. Prior to joining the Michigan Food and Beverage Association, Bonnie held various positions as Chief of Staff for the State House Lawmaker, Senate Majority Communications Aide, Congressional Campaign Staff in Congress to Congressman Mike Rogers, and Executive Aide to Governor John Engler, and it kind of shows, I guess, our age if I know who he is because I've actually met him personally. So you've been doing this quite a long time. Bonnie has strong knowledge in state government and politics. She was able to help draft numerous pieces of legislation, aid in managing $40 million in State Department budget, and successfully directing and assisting in the election of state and federal candidates. Currently, she is the chair of the Michigan Recycling Partnership, MRP, which is 100 businesses strong, and they all share a common interest in making the state a better place to do and attract business with green initiatives and comprehensive recycling programs. Bonnie also leads legislative task force that brings together her members in fighting any additional tax and any additional tax or free fee to businesses and healthcare issues. She fought against the federal healthcare plan in Washington, D.C. prior to its passage and continues to work with legislation since its inception. And this is where my page cuts off a little bit. So, Bonnie, you hold a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science in Business and then a master's degree in what?
Public administration.
Public administration, yeah, that's where it cut off. And hopefully I didn't butcher it too bad. So is there anything I'm missing in your introduction?
No, that's great.
Okay, perfect. So obviously we're in good hands with Bonnie, and she's going to kind of give us the insights of what we need to know as restaurant owners and new business owners. And again, our goal today is to work with the common pitfalls that new restaurant owners fall into and help you guys avoid them. So with that, let's jump right into it. Bonnie, what are the common complaints that you hear from your members with the Food and Beverage Association when they're trying to obtain a liquor license to open a new restaurant?
The most common thing is it's very, very overwhelming. They don't know where to start. They don't know where to go. They're very intimidated to the point that they might pick up an idea and let it go and pick it up and let it go. They don't know where to go, so they keep looking online and the website. They can't find what they're looking for, and it's kind of like the idea that they have and want to run with. And we need this in Michigan, is to open up a new business. Doesn't happen as quickly as I think it should. When they do find a group like us, the Michigan Food and Beverage Association, we try to guide them towards the Michigan Liquor Control Commission, as this commission has done a wonderful job under a new leader. Andy Deloney is their new chair. They've done a wonderful job streamlining the process of obtaining a liquor license and other business needs in general. It's something that has made opening up a bar or restaurant 100 times easier than it has in the past, probably 2 years. The regulations less burdensome. The red tape isn't as long to get through. So the Michigan Liquor Control Commission has done a wonderful job of helping new owners start up their business.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you, by the way, for an introduction to them, because we had another interview with them where we got a lot more detail. So for our listeners, if you haven't listened to that interview, we do have it available for you, and it's with the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. And it
Yeah, I
kind of
highly recommend it. Yep, listen to that.
It's a really good one. Okay, so our next question is, where does a new business owner go when they want to get started in opening their business?
The easiest answer for people to go, and you can just start toggling around, once you get to this website, is michiganadvantage.org. It's the state's website on navigating a new or current business owner in the right direction. So it's targeted to the new folks, and it's targeted also to those who might want, those current business owners who might want to expand, or that maybe just provide food but don't provide liquor. They want to see how to get that liquor license. So we're trying to get them in the right direction. And we the state government, the Michigan Food and Beverage Association worked with the state on kind of spearheading and going through and kind of poking holes at certain pieces of the website, and we used our members as well as guinea pigs. They were able to poke holes at it. They were able to see these websites before they went live, and to poke holes at them and say, now what do you need and what could have you used that wasn't on here before? On this website, they have people you can speak with, email with, or meet if you need to further explain the state requirements. And, a lot of folks, everyone's different. Somebody wants to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. They think that's the easiest. Somebody says, what, I only have time at, 12:30 in the morning by the time I get home from work and all this stuff. And if you have a bar, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, where you have time to chat with somebody, and sometimes sending an email is going to be the easiest way for you to do that. And also, meeting with somebody too. Somebody needs that face-to-face interaction to have something that's kind of, not as easy to understand when you just read it or somebody talks to you over the phone. Sometimes people need that face-to-face communication and explanation of a document and what they need to do with it. So I really highly recommend individuals going to michiganadvantage.org.
So this is kind of like a first step in a launching pad where it would connect them with the right departments to get what they need.
Definitely.
Perfect. That is extremely helpful. And just in case someone is listening and not seeing the slides, it's michiganadvantage.org, just like it's spelled and just like it sounds. Okay, so if you're a new restaurant owner, who else besides the Michigan Business or michiganadvantage.org can you call if you need a different or more assistance?
I'd highly recommend becoming a member of an organization that best fits your business, such as the organizations, both which I work for, Michigan Business and Professional Association, and the Michigan Food and Beverage Association. It's part of our member experience. If you are doing a restaurant or bar, the Michigan Food and Beverage Association would be a wonderful group for you to become a part of. As being a member, that's part of the experience we like to share with our members, is navigating you through those waters, those rough waters. It can be at times as a new business owner. We have a phenomenal member service team. They're great. They spend all the time that they need. There's no time limit. I know that some of our members that came over to us had some, they just had nothing but great things to say about our member services team, that, they took the time. I was on the phone with them for 45 minutes, and they answered all the needs I had, and they connected me with other people. And, they didn't just leave it at that and talk to them and let them go. They connected them with somebody else to help further them and further them down the path to becoming a business owner.
Very cool. And there's a couple of things that I wanted to add is, first of all, my personal experience as a business owner, the Michigan Food and Beverage Association, their association fees are very inexpensive. For what you get in return, just one of the services they offer can pay for a year's dues. And then another thing that we offer as the restaurant business advisors is to our clients, basically, and all we are is a referral service, so all you have to do is call us and ask for this perk from us. We give a free 1 year's membership to the restaurant or the Michigan Food and Beverage Association, so that's a really nice perk just from working with us.
I wanted to add one thing, too, is if you call your, because I work with legislators day in and day out, if you call your statewide elected official, if you're running into roadblocks and, you're not getting this or that done, and, even if things are getting held up somewhere in the state somewhere and you just can't get to see a movement, some things do happen. Some things sometimes get flagged. Call your elected officials. You can, my advice would be to call your state representative or state senator. You can look these folks up online at michigan.gov, and then look for the House Representatives or Michigan Senate tab. You can look them up by your zip code, your street address, your district, or your city. I highly recommend chatting with these folks, as they are there. They are in Lansing to represent you, whether it's your business or your home. Whatever needs you have, they are there to service you. That's what they're in Lansing for. So I think that they should be utilized to their full capacity. So I know that they would have, they have wonderful access to the Michigan Liquor Control Commission and to other state departments if you're having issues of getting anything through and back to you, so you can open up your doors for business.
So it's kind of like another resource that we can go to if we need help.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay. And this is a very open-ended question, so I'm going to kind of throw it at you. How long does it take to open a business, and what kind of paperwork is involved?
Oh, yeah. And it really, really varies, and there's really no short answer to this question, but I'll start with saying it depends on how fast the individual wants to move along with the state requirements and what type of business you're starting up. The Michigan Small Business and Technology Development Center, people refer to it as MISBTDC. If you hear that, MISBTDC, the Michigan Small Business and Technology Development Center. It's the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So this is one of the state departments. It's kind of their feet on the street. So it's this group that works with folks literally in the cities, townships, municipalities, everywhere that a business owner would be, big or small. They work with these folks to develop the business concept. So to achieving, what do you want to, how much cash flow do you want? I mean, they ask you all those questions that you might not have thought of at the beginning. They can help you develop a business plan. They provide counseling, training, research and advocacy for new ventures. They also help existing small businesses and innovative technology companies, which also includes technology counselors to provide more in-depth support and a road mapping tool that help clients evaluate the direction of their technology, which is really, really important. They also help you chart your strategic direction so that you are able to, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, how many years down the road do you want to go? And so they can help you develop your goals. Say, okay, by year 1 you should be doing this, by year 2, and just kind of help you step by step, and they really hold your hand. I've met with these folks. We've connected some of our business members with them. They have grants. If you are a certain type of business, and depending on what part of the state you're in and how much money you need a loan for, they have interest-free loans. They have workspace you can utilize before you open up your doors if you need to use anything. It's a really, really great place. So if you just look up the Michigan Economic Development Corporation under, again, this anything I'm talking about today is going to be with the state of Michigan. It's all going to be found under www.mi.gov. Just look around in there. They have a search engine too. So if you go to the main website and you can't find your tab that you need, just type in, Michigan Economic Development Corporation, type in, or Michigan Small Business and Technology Development Center. They will then, that search engine then within that particular website of the mi.gov website will then lead you, and they'll give you various other things that it's kind of like typing into Google, and it'll spit back a bunch of highlighted different topics, and I'll say, did you mean this, or a few helpful things you can click on, and then when you click on it, it'll bring you to another website, and it's really, a really great resource. I hope that helps. So you could say a lot of things about opening up a small business, but to me, that's the best way to do it, is to go on there to see what specific needs that you have, and it's a great resource.
So they'll help guide you along the way.
Definitely.
Because I think a lot of business owners go into it with a great idea and not a lot of experience or background in the business end of it, and that's typically why you have that failure rate. I think this would be a nice way to bridge that gap, so it would help you along the parts that you don't know. All right.
And
go right ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. I think you were gonna. I was gonna go to my next point, but
Okay.
I know you and I were talking before about other resources. I was just gonna
Pop into that one. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, and I know you and I, Jared, were talking about this earlier. Does Michigan have any other resources for startup businesses? And I apologize, I was starting to chat about that one too. Pure Michigan Business Connect is something. Also, the Michigan Food and Beverage. We worked with their team kind of behind the scenes, and they developed a one-stop business shop, and it's somewhere you can go again as a business owner to help you navigate through these waters. And the great thing about it is it's a public-private initiative created to help Michigan companies grow. It's a new business-to-business network, and through this, and we use a lot of acronyms, it's the PMBC, so the Pure Michigan Business Connect. It helps Michigan companies participate in the new kind of new network as buyers or suppliers or both. And this business-to-business network links Michigan companies with private sector procurement opportunities available from other Michigan companies. So it's a great networking opportunity. And this Pure Michigan Business Connect has garnered commitments from major commercial buyers, pledging to spend more of their procurement dollars in the state, providing new opportunities for Michigan-based suppliers, which is amazing. It's again, a great resource to go to, great networking resource. And by signing on to this business-to-business network, you can be connected to these opportunities literally today. You hop on there today, and it starts you in this direction. If that's something that's of interest to you. There's also professional business services that they offer, a variety of services through support through several Michigan businesses and professionals, including business lending services, which is various financial institutions from banks to credit unions. They've pledged more financing and business lending to help get those entrepreneurs and small businesses where the money that they need. We all know it's been really, really hard to get a loan, and businesses have been kind of at a standstill with this this kind of economic, in quotes I use, hard economic times that we've had. I think we're feeling a little bit better lately about that, but still, banks and credit unions were kind of, they weren't giving the loans as freely and quickly and easily as they were in the past. And so you really, really need to have good credit, and you really needed to have a good business plan. And if they didn't see that, they wouldn't give you as much as you needed, or they just wouldn't give you a loan. And so this Pure Michigan Business Connect is definitely, it helps to attract those institutions that are going to be favorable to startup businesses. Also, one of the professional services is legal and accounting services. Everybody needs that when you're new business. I mean, this is something to make sure you have all your paperwork, all your contracts are in line, and then accounting, you want to make sure that you have all of your, if you're going to be hiring staff, and if you have all the finances that you need. There's also professionals from Michigan legal community here within this professional service that are making pro bono services available to qualified registered clients, which is wonderful. If you aren't able to afford this service, they're going to give you their time for free, which is great. Another service that the professional business service incorporates in their plan is an export service. So export support devices services are available to companies that want to launch, expand, or improve their exporting efforts, which this is great for if you want to work outside the state of Michigan, which a lot of folks do. They want to expand and grow their company. When their company starts to grow and thrive in Michigan, they want to expand their products elsewhere. And also website and internet services. This is something that the Pure Michigan Business Connect offers. So there's a lot. Again, this is another connection for a business owner to go to.
There's a ton of information that any new business owner really needs, and I think they have no idea it's available for them. We've kind of been using the term board of directors or external board of directors for some of our clients, in using it because a lot of them don't have relationships with an accountant or an attorney, and they're afraid to kind of approach them because they're afraid that they have to pay a retainer, where that's when you want to actually work with them as in advance, and I think this is a great opportunity for them to get the information they need. So, perfect.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. One thing that business owners overlook is taxes. And my question is, can you explain the tax liability for new restaurant owners? And myself personally, I know it's as a business owner, this seems like there's always something changing and there's always something to keep an eye on and there's always something to worry about. So hopefully you can help us kind of like put us at ease.
Oh, sure. That's a great question. It is one huge liability factor that when you do start up a new business or expand your business that you have to keep at your top of your priority list, and understanding and knowing what your tax liabilities would be. So let me see if I can help clarify this. So Michigan's new tax cuts. So we had the Michigan business tax that was replaced with the corporate tax. So there is going to be, so the January 1 of 2012 began the corporate income tax, which folks, and we agree with this, it's a more competitive kind of tax. It keeps Michigan, it allows more people to open up their doors. The Michigan business tax, we felt, took the competition out of Michigan, if that makes sense. It was no businesses were growing from the Michigan business tax. Not that you're going to grow from a tax, but their tax liability went from, let's say they were, for simplicity's sake, they were paying, this would be very low, but $2,000 in taxes. They were paying, with the Michigan business tax, $6,000, $16,000. It was just, it at least tripled or quadrupled the tax liability. And so businesses were, we get phone calls from members saying, we're gonna close up our doors. We're moving to Indiana, Ohio, or we're still staying in Michigan because we can't sell our house, but we're incorporating in Connecticut or Delaware because their business tax there is so much more business friendly than Michigan. And so luckily it took a few years, and the Michigan Food and Beverage Association, the Michigan Business and Professional Association definitely worked hard on that. We were able to repeal the Michigan business tax and put this new one in. So low tax rates have been established in Michigan. The new tax structure, the C corporations, they are at 6% tax on a federal taxable income apportioned to Michigan. And other entities, individuals, and partnerships and LLCs, they have their income flow to their personal income tax. So their personal income tax rate will remain 4.35%, dropping to 4.25% in 2013, which is good news. This change also from the MBT, the Michigan business tax, to the corporate income tax, it also reduces business tax liabilities by an astonishing 86%, which is to us wonderful. And so all industries are in line for significant tax cuts. It's basically so reducing your operational costs and encouraging new investment. Let's say a lot of folks, once they saw this new tax liability when the MBT was instituted, they said, well, not hiring that person, not buying that piece of equipment. And so now people are able to buy that piece of equipment, hire a few more folks, give raises, geez, a raise. And so, they're able to do these things that they weren't able to do for quite a long time. And so we're feeling it. We're feeling it when we chat with our members. Now Michigan's overall business tax climate is now 12. I want to say we were like 49th.
Wow.
So, I mean, we're 12th in the U.S., and then, let's see, in corporate tax, so the business tax climate, we were 12, and I want to say corporate tax ratings, we jumped to 7 from 49. That's huge. So this tax system, it's new, it's simplified. It's something, again, you can find on www.michigan.gov. You can look under taxes. It'll give you in-depth explanation, help you figure things out. Because some people, actually are still, they're still paying their Michigan business tax. Their liabilities are, they're still liable for some of that tax. So some people still need to understand what they're liable for under that. And then the folks that are starting up a new business, what does this corporate income tax mean to them? So for your specific business, I suggest you can go online, and again, just mi.gov, and on the left-hand side, you'll see a tab with taxes, and you click on that, and then you can just kind of navigate your way through to find what suits your business best, and always, they have a phone line there, 1-800 number that you can call to the tax to talk to tax folks that can better explain what's going on and what you could be headed for.
So it's a lot less expensive, which is bringing more business back to Michigan.
Yes, definitely, which is wonderful. and we can feel it already a little bit. So we know we're moving in the right direction.
Very cool. Yeah, thinking that a lot of that is, as a business owner, I lean on my accountant to take care of that for me, but the information and knowing that it's a better climate in which to do the business or to operate, I think makes you feel a lot better, and you want to stick around. So.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
All right, so how do we know that the new structure is an improvement from the old one?
This new business tax will be a flat tax with minimal exemptions and exceptions. So it's the first time in decades that Michigan business people will be able to calculate their taxes, basically what people say on the back of an envelope. You don't have to, you might not need that accountant anymore, Jared. You might be able to figure it out on your own. And it was kind of like, it was insanity with this last business tax. I mean, I went to many seminars just so I could understand it, and I CPAs were sitting there, and they were wide-eyed, like, what? So folks like myself, that I'm work in the legislature here, with legislators, it was being a CPA is not in my background, so to me it was all foreign, and it was very, very hard to grasp how you calculate it. And the CPAs again had to take seminar after seminar to understand, to make sure that they were giving their clients the best service possible with this complicated tax. So this is very, very easy. And so, I mean, we're just talking about simple, straightforward policy that virtually anyone can understand and act on with certainty. And that's why we know this new tax structure is already a huge improvement.
I think simple is good, because then if you understand it, you're more likely to not reject it.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right, so kind of wrapping things up a little bit, what's the best advice you can give for a startup business?
I would say that the best thing to do is to do your homework before you begin. Make sure that you know what you want, where you want to have your business. Hop on our websites, hop on the Michigan's websites, have a business plan. The folks I was suggesting to chat with previously, the Pure Michigan Business Connect, the Michigan Small Business and Technology Development Center. Those are the people that you're going to want to chat with. They're going to help you write a business plan. I encourage everyone to talk to neighboring restaurants and retailers in the area where you want to start your business. See, what was, if you see a space you want to use, who was there, why weren't they there anymore? If you're going to buy a place, why was it for sale? What was there, why didn't they work out? We found, talking to members, we have many members who have been members once over several times. And as you mentioned at the launch of this session was, a lot of small businesses that begin out don't always end out how folks wanted to. We want the success rate for Michigan business startups to be, close to 100% as we can, and that's not the case. And we know that's only because the information that we have to give isn't all out there. So thank you, Jared, for doing this. I want to also suggest, talk to your elected officials. I know I mentioned it before. They have a wealth of information, and they are elected in your area to serve you. That's what they do. They are elected officials to serve every single constituent within their district walls. And make sure you're up to speed on any new tax cuts or liabilities, any kind of incentives. These legislators are going to be able to connect you with, if you have a hard time finding the website or having somebody from the MEDC give you a call back, call your elected official. Go on mi.gov, find your state legislator, look up by your street, by your zip code, by your district if you know your district. Really check those things out, because you could be given an interest-free loan. You could actually be given grant money to start up your business that you don't have to give back. So find out all that. I mean, that could definitely cut your startup costs possibly in half. I'd also suggest to join a group of like interests to network. So if you are doing, if it's a restaurant, a specific type of food, or just a restaurant and bar area. I think of the Royal Oak area. They have a great Royal Oak Restaurant Association, and they get together. I've chatted in front of the group a few times. They've had us there to speak and chat about some legislation that was, coming down the pipeline that would dramatically impact their livelihood. And so if the more people that you know and that know about you and your interests and likes in your business, if they hear something, they'll say, hey, they'll call you and they'll say, hey, I heard about this issue. This might impact us. We need to do something about it. And if possible, get a mentor, get somebody that's gone through this. Find a business owner that's been in the area for a while, maybe has gone through generations and generations of family members that have managed and owned the business, so that they can tell you what's going on and how the community works. And if you're having a difficult time deciding from one city to another, take some time, walk around the city, see what kind of folks you want to cater to, and are those folks there. And last but not least, and I mentioned this so many times, the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan has so much to offer in assistance. Going on their website, they have hotlines to call. They are a wealth of resources. And, again, we pay taxes. Our tax dollars go to, pay for all this stuff. And so I really feel that this is something I feel everyone should feel that they have a right to know this information, because they do, and it's theirs. This website's for them. It's for them to utilize night or day, 24 hours a day. And, if the time where you have available is 2 in the morning, you can always call, leave a message, and somebody can call you back the next day. If you have a thought on your mind, you need to get the question answered. And emails are great. And I think they even are starting, I think they might be, maybe not yet, but they're talking about it as a chat session. So you can actually chat with somebody live. So, I mean, really, really go to the State of Michigan website for great resources for assistance. And MBPA, MSBA, our two associations, we work with legislators. We can help navigate you if you're looking for a group to join. If you join us, again, like Jared said, very, very low membership dues. And we have a wealth, too, of information and knowledge to share with you. And what you get a good bang for your buck if you join us. It's you get my assistance 100% of the time, whenever you need it, to help you kind of, again, navigate through the waters of opening up a new business, because it's not easy. So hopefully I've answered enough questions, but I'm ready to answer more. I think we can have an ongoing dialogue in the future. I'd love to come back.
Yeah, enough to get people started. I think there's a ton of resources available for new owners that they possibly might not know about and might not take advantage of. So I think there's some great opportunities here, definitely. And one thing you mentioned was a mentor. And I think in every business that's out there, there's always someone who's having their best year ever. And that's the person you want to seek out as your mentor. And more often than not, they're not afraid to share their success with you and tell you how they're doing it or what they're doing differently to become successful, because those people typically are doing so well, they're not afraid of competition, and they kind of almost have a bring it on or let me help you attitude. So definitely a mentor's the way to go. And then I also made a couple notes here on summary. There's a ton of resources available. I mean, the State of Michigan, Michigan Food and Beverage Association, certainly, obviously us, the Michigan our Restaurant Business Advisors. And one thing I didn't write in this last page is that website that you gave me, obviously michigan.gov, but michiganadvantage.org is another one to go to. So for any questions that any of our listeners have, there's a lot of resources available, and if you get lost anywhere inside there, trying to find what you're looking for, definitely you can contact us at the Michigan Restaurant Business Advisors, or you can contact the Michigan Food and Beverage Association. They can kind of lead you in the right direction. So, is there anything else you want to add, Bonnie?
No, that's it. We would love to help any new business owner with this new plan that they might have, a business plan, and getting them in touch with any legal help that they might need, and love to connect them with the State of Michigan as well. So even if you don't want to be a member, give us a call. We're here to help everybody get started, and we hope that once you do become a member, you'd come back, or do become a successful business owner, you do come back to us to help you continue to thrive in Michigan. So
exactly. Once you see the value. I really appreciate it. You've been a huge resource, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jared.